Hey, gorilla, take your paws on me, you darn dirty apes. You maniac, you blew it up. Darn you, all to heck. Come on, gorillas, take an interest in science. Sorry for my terrible Mark Wahlberg impression. Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. They just had to remake Planet of the Apes. But in all seriousness, guys, there was no reason to remake Planet of the Apes other than Tim Burton's idea. Instead of just remaking Planet of the Apes, he wanted to have this reimagining, like he wants to call this movie, a reimagining of Planet of the Apes by making it more of an action-oriented war film between the humans and the apes, which doesn't really sound like a bad idea on paper, but the execution. I don't want to get through this again. But since I'm reviewing these films, I have to. So let's get started with Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. Now, to be honest with you, this movie doesn't really sound all that bad. When I see the trailers and stuff too, like turning Planet of the Apes into an all-out war film with the humans against the apes, it doesn't sound all that bad. But watched this movie last night, since I've seen this movie before many times and I didn't like it. Watched this movie last night, I still don't like this movie, but I will admit this, that the apes in this movie look fantastic. They look great. And the score by Danny Elfman is great. I do enjoy the score in this film. But other than that, this movie is just a pain to get through. But at the same time, when you remake a movie like Planet of the Apes, a classic, a masterpiece, a groundbreaking film that set the boundaries for stuff too, with this social commentary and the film that kept you thinking. When you remake a movie like that, you're kind of, in a way, setting yourself up for failure. You're not going to live up to a movie like that. And when you remake it with a movie like this with a bigger budget and an all-star cast, you can have all that other good stuff. But when you come up with crap in your movie, you done messed up pretty bad. Mark Wahlberg is our lead in this film, and I don't buy him as our protagonist in this movie. He's just a generic action hero who he just gives me that vibe in this movie. And I don't think he never sold me onto this movie. I think of course he's not going to top Charlton Heston, that's obvious, but at least give a decent performance. I mean, he just comes off as bland as ever in this movie. And when we finally see the apes, it's no build-up at all. You see the humans running in the woods, and then boom, you see the apes. In the original film, they build up to suspense when you see them riding on a horse in the distance, and you wonder, like, whoa, who is that? And is it a person? Then you turned around, and it's a gorilla. I love that build-up in the original film, because it leaves you, it's suspense to see what is that, and it's an ape. It's an ape on a horse. Well, in this movie, it's like, boom, there you go, that's the ape. And it's like, that is so lazy. For some weird reason, the apes have superhuman strength, because they could jump really high, and when they hit someone, they go really far, like they're Superman or something. I'm like, so are the apes in this universe have superhuman powers? Because when they hit someone, they go really far back. Which I'm just like, what? Because this is like, basically, are they taking like steroids or something? How in the world are these apes be able to have this much strength and power? Like, oh my god. Let me get through this film. Another thing that really baffles me about this movie is that they don't really have a true reasoning for why they treat humans like slaves and servants and lock them up in cages. They don't really explain why they hate humans. It's like, boom, they hate humans for no apparent reason at all, just because they're humans. In the original film, the reason why the apes treat humans like animals because the humans were dumb and they barely talk. The humans in this movie, they talk. But why do they hate them? That's my thing. It's like, okay, like, Tim Burton, what were you thinking when you were directing this movie? And the writers, too. Like, you don't really explain why the apes hate humans. It was like, oh, Planet of the Apes. The apes hate the humans in that film. The original, this movie, they just hate them because they just hate them. Like, what were they thinking when they write the script for this movie? Like, the writing is so poor. Like, they took something that what made the original Planet of the Apes so great and why people love it so much, and just threw it out of the window. Like, this movie, just reimagining, just And they, played by Tim Roth, who just try to come off as just so sinister, so intimidating in his movie with his graspy voice, that he just comes off as just over the top and laughable. Like, he just comes off as just like, you're not even you try too hard to be evil, dude. You're trying too hard with his, I hate humans. Humans stink. Why am I crouching my teeth? Gritting my teeth. Humans. That's not me, Abomination, the Incredible Hulk. You stink. Like, that's what he does in this movie. Like, he's like his performance is so weird and just bizarre. Like, are you trying to be scary? Or are you trying to be intimidating? Or are you trying to make people laugh? And what was up with this? I honestly have no words for that, to be honest. And he also has no motivation to why he hates Mark Wahlberg's character the most in this movie. Like, every time he's near his character, or every time he mentions him, he just want to kill him. It's like, dude, what is your beef with this guy? Like, you just met the dude today. Why don't you hate the other humans the most? Why him? So it's why him, other than he just the main protagonist in this movie, other than the script. Yeah, the script is like, oh yeah, Mark Wahlberg's the main character, Dave's the main antagonist, so of course he had to hate him for no real reason, I don't know. Also forgot to mention Ari, who was played by Helena Bonham Carter, who has this weird bestiality, love fetish between her and Mark Wahlberg, which I'm just like, why is this even needed? Why is this even in this movie? And the human woman seems to be jealous of that too. So we have this sort of love triangle thing too, with the beef between her and Ari, which is like, girl, you and Mark Wahlberg barely share a dialogue to each other. And it's like, so why are you mad that Ari has a thing for Mark Wahlberg? Like, you and Mark Wahlberg barely talked in this film, 2 times in this film. This movie script makes no sense. Did I mention Paul Giamatti plays an orangutan in this movie? Yes, Paul Giamatti is an orangutan in this film. And we get a lot of more weird scenes in this movie like this. Did I mention that they're trying to have callback to the original film by having the lines in this movie, but it just makes it a whole lot worse.
Take your stinking hands off me, you damn dirty human! Damn them. Damn them all to hell!
Now we're in the final act of this movie. We had the huge battle between the apes and the humans. And to be honest with you, despite it looking cool, I don't really care who wins or who loses between the apes and the humans, because I don't really care about nobody in this movie. Nobody. And not only that, a spaceship comes down, and we see that who's in that spaceship? The chimp that Mark Wahlberg was looking for, his pet chimp from his original space station, from his original time period. And he, in this world, they call him Seamos because he's like the god-like figure or the creation of these apes or something. I don't know. I really don't know. They just defeated. Mark Wahlberg gives a kiss to Ari and the human woman, who he shares no chemistry between both of these two. And let's just talk about this stupid ending already so I can wrap up this rant. So, somehow, they travel back in time and alter the human world, which caused some weird thing. They turned Abraham Lincoln to Abraham Lincoln and conquered the world, took out all the humans, and now Mark Wahlberg sees the statue of Abraham Lincoln and says General Date in the back. And it's so confusing to how they was able to travel back in time, and he altered the timeline, but it could make no sense because there was no spaceship there in the planet of the apes, and how could he do all this thing? So that makes the timeline alter the original. How it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, how was he able to do that? This is confusing. I watched this movie so many times, I still don't get the ending. Did he, like, somehow, like, snuck into the spaceship or something? Did he teleport it? This doesn't make any sense at all. This movie sucks. I'm sorry. I'd rather watch Beneath, Conquest, and Battle for the Planet of the Apes over this movie any day, because at least those movies kept the theme of what made Planet of the Apes so great. Even though those movies weren't the greatest, at least they had that. And even though Beneath the Planet of the Apes was not a good movie at all, and same thing with Battle. Like, those movies were not good, but at least they kept something that made me want to watch it again. Battle for the Planet of the Apes. I talked my butt off of why I didn't like that movie. Oh, no, not talk my butt off. I talked briefly why I didn't like that movie. This movie, however, especially with the stupid ending, at least the ending in the original made a lot of sense, because he was on Earth the whole time. But in this movie, he I don't want to talk about this movie again. The more I talk about this movie, the more my brain hurts. And that's why I do not like Tim Burton's reimagining of Planet of the Apes. I'm gonna give Tim Burton's reimagining of Planet of the Apes a D+. Guys, thank you so much for watching my rant for this crap fest of a remake or reimagining or whatever. But thank you so much for watching anyway. Stay tuned for my review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 coming tomorrow. And for my review of Rise of the Planet of the Apes coming very soon. Can't wait to talk about this movie, because that's where stuff gets good again. Anyways, thank you so much for watching again. Let me know what you think of this reimagining of Planet of the Apes in the comment section down below. And if you are new to my channel and you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.